This one's going to be a lot to handle for a lot of you, but I think it will be in the most beneficial way. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling stuck, if you don't know what path you're supposed to take or why you're feeling a certain way, ask yourself, are you happy with where your trajectory is going with your life? Are you happy with how your life is turning out? If not, ask yourself, are you living for you? In the last video, I kind of covered not letting people dictate what decisions you make and start making decisions for you, but in that, you have to know who you are. Do you know who you are? I would have to say probably not, because you think through your ego, which is in a bunch of impressions that have been pushed on you by other people throughout your entire life. A lot of your life you didn't get to think for yourself. It was other people, whether it be teachers or parents or friends, all pressed things onto you and on your worldview and made a false sense of self that you really haven't kept in check until now you are getting older and you can really think about these things. I want you to see if you are really truly living as yourself. Do you know who you are? Because it's not ever really about knowing who you are. It's about finding who you are. Because at the core of yourself, there is a true essence of you in there. Now, whether it's been covered and pushed down by a bunch of trauma and a bunch of impressions from other people, we don't know. But I encourage you to ask about literally everything in your life. Analyze everything and ask yourself, are you doing this for you or are you doing that for someone else? And it's going to take a while. It's going to take possibly years of unlearning. And you're going to have to cut a lot of people off probably, because they're going to tell you you've changed and not like the new version of you. But that's the true you. Nobody can take that from you, and you shouldn't let them take that from you. At the end of the day, you have to be okay with letting go of the things that are not meant for the true you and finding the true you. The past 2 videos have been a cycle of just saying you over and over again. But there's no other way to put it. If you live your life without knowing who you are, without ever questioning the things that people have pressed on to you, then you're going to live a more miserable life. You're going to become somebody's cog in somebody's wheel, and you aren't going to won't live a fulfilling life if you don't figure out who you truly are. Those things that you've always wanted to do as a kid, but you couldn't because you didn't have the means to, your parents didn't have the funds to, or your parents told you that was stupid. Now, as you're getting older, who's stopping you from doing those things? You need to nourish the younger version of yourself. Like, who's stopping you from doing those random little tasks or things that you thought about doing? You were only holding yourself back from these things. If you have a spontaneous thought about, man, I always wanted to do that, then do it. Right there, don't think about it, just go do it. You always wanted to pick up skateboarding, but your mom told you couldn't because she didn't want you to get hurt. Try skateboarding. If you have had dreams about mountain biking, rock climbing, doing art in any way, shape, or form, like you didn't have the funds to, you didn't have the support team to, nothing is stopping you from doing that now. And I don't care what anyone else says. If you find joy in it, then there's no other reason to hold back from doing it. You're just robbing yourself of happiness in your life by letting other people's opinions dictate what you do. At the end of the day, you shouldn't worry about what anyone else thinks, because this is not your life. That's not their life. This is your life. And if you live your life thinking about what everyone else will think about you, then you're just stealing your own happiness. Because I guarantee you, everyone's too wrapped up in their own world about their own lives that they don't even notice you. So, and even if they do say something or pass judgment, it's just because they're insecure about trying things that actually make them happy because someone did that to them. And it's a loop. So you break the loop by being your authentic self and not caring what anyone else thinks. And in turn, you repel the people that are not meant for you in your life and you attract the ones that are. It's magical how that works. But I challenge you to actually find who you are. Ask the deep questions. Ask where any opinions or viewpoints or anything that has shaped the way that you perceive the world. When you have a thought, when you pass judgment, whose opinion are you really standing on? Who is the reason why you carry yourself in a specific way? If you specifically show up in this way and you haven't questioned it for a while, is this actually what you want to be doing? Would you rather dress in a different vibe? Would you rather carry yourself in a different way? Would you rather have your creative expression be this over that? These are simple questions you can ask yourself throughout your day and throughout your months or years of your life. It is not a fast change, and it doesn't have to be overnight. And it might be really hard, and it might break your brain for a little while. I'm not going to lie, it might be a little difficult once you start down this rabbit hole. But the ceiling is much higher for the true version of yourself than this fake version of you that you've been living as because other people told you you should and shouldn't do this or be this way. But anyway, all of this is just food for thought on questioning your reality in the way that you are, because to live the most happy and fulfilling life, you need to do things for you. And to do that, you have to know who you are. Thank you so much for listening. I love you.